So I'll begin, and so Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And I thought I'd begin with a interesting question. And yesterday we were doing something, and the question was about the soul. Right? And so if I asked you, what is the soul? To everyone, to anyone, would we be able to give a definitive answer and say, that's what it is, mate? No? Interesting. If I said, where is the body? You can tell me. If I say, where is the mind? What can you tell me? Okay, so there's a story of a Zen master in Japan called Baku. And what happened was a particular, let's call it royalty of that time, had everything and wanted to know the final answer. What is the soul? And was prepared to give whatever was needed to anyone that can answer that question. So the religious lot came with their books and their teachings. And they said many things, stories, Upanishads, Shinto religion, Hinduism, whatever they could find, throwing it at him. Didn't convince him. Just a story. He doesn't know what the soul is. They're telling him a story. He doesn't know what the soul is. So then the scientists come in of the time. And they relate all sorts of things, consciousness, mind, and their version of quantum physics. And he still doesn't get it. So someone says to him, look, this guy, he's a bit eccentric. His name's Baku. He's, a bit far away. But if you go to him, that's his expertise. That's his expertise. He's the only one who does that. But the thing is, his methods are a bit crazy. All right? So this emperor kind of guy with his group of people track away, and they find themselves at this monastery where there's hardly anyone there. There's just this bloke and a really tall tree, maybe 200 feet. A tall tree, singular. And this master's just sitting there doing his things, probably darning his socks or something. And the emperor comes and says, look, this is my question. And I hear you can answer it. So he said, yeah, I think I could do it. What are you prepared to give for it? And he said, everything. What are you prepared to give for it if you can't tell me? And Boku says, I'll give you my head. None of the religious ones said that. Goes to show. So man was convinced. He said, okay. And so Boku says to him, I am going to instruct you. Okay, not to worry, I'm going to instruct you. But by end of today, you'll know what it is. So he says, okay, can you climb? He says, sure. He says, all right, start climbing, and I'll give you instructions as you go along. So the emperor looks around and he said, yeah, okay. Gets a little strap around him, and like a monkey begins to climb. And Boku says, be careful, be careful, be careful. And he's only about 15 feet up. And he says, okay, be careful, be careful. When this guy's about 20, Boku sits down. And the emperor's going up, waiting for instructions. And as he's going up, waiting for instructions, he gets higher and higher and higher and higher until he's over 150, nearly 200 feet up. And the tree begins to move. And he's freaking out, thinking to himself, where are the instructions? And he stays there, And the tree is moving, the wind is moving, he's able to see something. Anyway, after about 20 minutes, here's a shout, come on down. And then this chap glad to get down, couldn't wait enough, comes down. And gets to about 15 feet. Baku says, okay, be careful now. Now be careful, be careful, be careful, and gets him down. So this bloke is just blown away, right? He goes, how can you make me do that? Don't you realize who I am? So Baku asks him, he says, when you were up there, what were you thinking of? And he said, I couldn't think. So, what were you feeling? He goes, alive. Were you concerned? Were you worried? He said, I began with fear. But at that moment, there was no fear. It was just to be as safe as I could be, to be present to all the dangers around me, to be present to all the dangers around me. So Boku says, this is your soul, to be present. Imagine if you can live like that for 24 hours a day. So the emperor says, I can understand this. But why did you start giving me instructions when I was only about 15 feet up? And Boku says, as you became closer to the ground, you started going back into your sleep. So you could have slept. But at the top, you would have never slept because you were present. So when we see this story in the context, what is the soul? The soul cannot be told objectively. When everything is stripped, what is left is the soul, and that is presence. So if we want to know what the soul is, it's presence. And there are only two ways to know this. Either with fear is a gift. There's another story of a Japanese chap who made a fortune in the USA and decided that he wanted to, relax and not do anything. So he started traveling the world. He came to Paris and he met someone who said to him, have you been to the local casino? It's the place to go. Yeah, with the shows and everything. So this guy says, look, I've never been to anything like that. So what do you do there? He said, we gamble. Yeah, all right then. So the guy walks in there and goes onto a table and gambles in that time, what's equivalent to say £800,000. And no one's put that much money in one bet, someone who doesn't know what he's doing. And he loses. And he loses. And he didn't have enough money to go back to his hotel taxi. Had to borrow that money. Lost everything. And his friend asked him, why did you do that? He said, it's the only way. If you're going to gamble, then gamble everything. And this goes to a story in the Sufi tradition that says, if you can lose everything in a shipwreck and not look back, you will find who you are. So 3 ways to know the soul. Danger, fear when you transcend it, and the recognition that nothing that you feel you're connected to in any way actually exists in the way we see it. And when we realize that, we realize what the soul is. And coming back to that one thing, presence and awareness. So we'll go into our meditation. I thought I'll start with that and end with that today. Yeah? Okay. And one of the things that we need to recognize is that through our meditation practice, we end up somewhere consistently. And if something is consistent, so say out of 10 meditations, 8 of them or 5 of them or 4 of them, whatever, appear to be giving you the experience of peace, then you can conclude from that part of you, who you are, is that peace. Doesn't come from anywhere else, does it? No. And peace will only happen when we cross over our mental kind of um, content. Yeah. So sooner or later, we get there. That consistency is important to recognize because that builds your sense of self because it's experiential. Not what you're thinking, not what you're being told, not how you're seeing yourself, but how you consistently get to this place of stillness, silence, peace, calm, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. But it is yours. And it's important to recognize that, to, you know, ground yourself in that. And yeah, ownership of it. And that's important as it allows you to, one, navigate the mind, more importantly, allows the body to find its balance as well. Okay. So we'll begin as usual. Okay, so adjust your posture. And that's a deliberate thing that we do. And we pull the back up. We pull the shoulders back a little bit so the chest feels a bit open. And ensuring that the eyes are closed. Bring your focus to your eyes and recognize that they're closed. And as you breathe in next, bringing your focus to yourself. Begin to notice what's happening within you. And you might find that there are a whole range of mental content around. And now bring your focus to the body itself. And to help you become aware of the body, and our intention is to be present, and we're going to focus on things that are happening right now. The only way to be present. So bring your focus first to the chair or the seat that you're on. Begin to notice the sensations where there is contact. As you breathe in, bringing your focus up towards your hips. And we do this gently. And as we become aware of different parts of our body, that part of the body begins to soften and relax. Bringing your focus now down your thighs. The body scans are very useful exercise. From your knees, move your focus down to your ankles. Becoming aware of your feet. The soles of your feet. No commentary, no judgment. Bring your focus back to the chair or the floor or the seat you're on. Notice your back. And as you breathe in, bring your focus upwards so you become aware of your lower back. Up towards your middle back. Shoulder blades. Shoulders. And as you breathe out, bringing your focus down your shoulders to your elbows. elbows to wrist, and then notice the palms of your hands. Notice the fingers on your hands. Now bringing your focus to your eyes. Becoming aware of the darkness. Recognizing awareness for itself. And as you breathe out, allowing this part of the body to soften. On your next breath in, coming back to your mouth. Notice your tongue. Allow it to soften. Scanning your tongue from the back to the tip will allow it to soften. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth. And on your next breath out, allowing your face to soften and relax. Next breath in, once again become aware of your body as best as you can. And allow your awareness to scan the body for any sensations that are dominant. Could be a pain, could be an ache, could be an itch, could be a tightness. And if you find anything like this in the body, just note where it is. No commentary, no judgment. Next breath in, bringing your focus to your inner space. How you feel and what you've been thinking. So let's begin with the mental space. Are there any thoughts around? How does your mental space feel at this moment? Tired? Fatigued? Fresh? Alive? Light? Just focusing in your mental space. Clear? Foggy? Bringing your focus now to your chest. Holding your awareness at your chest. Notice the sensations that accompany the movement. Notice how the chest moves in rhythm with the breath. And now moving your focus a bit deeper into your chest, like a probe that goes and sits right in the center of your chest, in the middle of your body. And as you hold your awareness there, you begin to notice how you're actually feeling. Are you comfortable or uncomfortable? Do you feel settled? Do you feel unsettled? Seeing things for what they are. Is this moment enough? Is this moment enough? And if it's not, what's missing? On your next breath out, opening your awareness to all the sounds around you. Listening, not listening to anything or for, but simply listening. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose and begin to watch your breath. Allowing the breath to breathe by itself. If you find you're distracted from your breath, you started thinking something, notice what distracts you, bring your focus back to your breath. And you're going to hold your focus with a little bit of effort, knowing when you're breathing in, knowing when you're breathing out. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your breath. Begin to focus now on the difference between the in-breath and the out-breath. Notice that they are different. noticing that your in-breath has a start, middle, end. Out-breath has a start, middle, end. Stay with your breath. Each breath is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Priceless. In-breath coming in, breath going out. Bringing your out-breath. And by following our out-breath all the way towards the end, we allow our awareness to become merged with the breath itself. Following your out-breath all the way till the end. Noticing the little gap before the in-breath begins. Stay with your breath, following your out-breath all the way till the end. Notice the gap before the in-breath begins. Allowing each breath to take you deeper and deeper into this moment. Notice how you're breathing now. How does the breath feel? Does it feel light or does it feel labored? Does your breath feel fast or does it feel slow? Does the breath feel long or does it feel short? Notice the temperature of your breath. Does it feel cold? Does it feel warm? Stay with your breath, Now bringing your focus to the sound of your breath. Trying to listen to the in-breath as it comes in, try to listen to the out-breath as it goes out. Remember, you're listening to your breath, not listening to your thoughts. Your awareness, like a laser, follows the breath as it enters from the start till the end, stops, start, end as it goes out. Listening. Stay with your breath. And now with that same awareness, allow your awareness to be open, listening. Listening, allowing any sound that's around you to come to you. Not the sounds, not seeking them out, not judging them. Notice how the moment of now is eternal, like the sound of this bell. Notice how each bell takes us deeper into the silence. Notice the quality of your experience. Notice what is present and what is absent. Bringing your focus just beneath your nose and sitting in silence. Next breath out, expanding your awareness, becoming aware of the body as best as you can. Notice how the body feels, sensing your body as best as you can. Notice you're in the same place you began. Sensations where your body makes contact with your seat. Allow this awareness to move down your thighs, slowly becoming aware of the body, allowing your awareness to move down from your knees to your ankles, gently moving your awareness to your ankles, from your ankles to your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Coming back to your seat, notice that the back is straight, upright. Shoulders are relaxed, as are the arms and the hands. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath comes in, we can sense our body. And as the breath goes out, we can sense our body. Breathing in, my mind is quiet. Breathing out, my mind is quiet. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. Becoming present within yourself Notice how you feel within yourself. Notice what happens if you bring the intention to smile. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few breaths in and in your own good time opening your eyes.